Welcome to another episode of the PC Podcast. It's a Tuesday evening, and this evening we're going to talk softball with our two guests. But before we get to the guests, I'd like to introduce my crew. We are in full effect this evening. I've got everybody on the podcast this evening. I've got the Z-Man, Johnny Zavala. Johnny, how you doing?
Doing good.
And then, of course, we got the Big T, Tony Pena. Tony, how you doing?
Doing good, man.
And then we got the coach, Steve Cantu. Coach, how you doing?
Excited to be here, boys.
All right.
And
as I said, yes, sir. As I said, we have been talking football and volleyball. You know, football is just around the corner. And we've had our head coach, athletic director, and our defensive coordinator. And then, of course, volleyball is also around the corner. So we've had our head volleyball coach here in Rockport come on the last couple of weeks. But I wanted to switch things around this evening and talk softball. This summer, we had one of our athletes that graduated play for Team USA in Colorado, which I think was just awesome. And we wanted to bring her in, give her time to kind of relax a little bit. We wouldn't bombard her since she got back into Rockport. So we wanted to give her some time to relax and then bring her in so she could talk about her experience. But also we brought in her dad. Her dad was also, I wasn't aware, but her dad was also the coach, one of the coaches for Team USA Red. So we wanted to bring them both on. They were both able to be on the podcast. So I'm going to introduce our guest, of course, Mikey Dominguez. She's been on our podcast before, and so we invite her again. Mikey, how you doing?
Good.
All right. Thank you for taking some time. I know you're going to be leaving to play softball at the next level in college, so I'm glad we could get you before you took off. And then, of course, her dad's first time. Mikey's dad has been on the podcast, but just about everybody in Rockport knows Mikey's dad, Ron Dominguez. Ron, how you doing?
Doing good, Gabriel. I'm doing good.
Hey,
glad to be here.
Thank you for coming out and spending some time with
Hey,
us.
Ron, how does it feel to be referred to as Mikey's dad? I love that.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
Mikey's dad. Not even hey, it's Mr. Ron Dominguez. No, Mikey's dad.
That's okay. She's earned it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Mikey's earned it, right? She sure has. And so we're just glad that you guys can spend some time here with us. We always enjoy when Mikey's on the podcast with us. There's a lot to talk about. But tonight, like I said, we're going to talk softball. So I'm going to pass it over to Z-Man. I know he's got some questions for Mikey and Ron. So, Johnny, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Hey, Mikey, what was your most memorable moment playing in the USA games?
I would say my most memorable moment is we had like 8 girls from each USA team. So there's 2 USA teams and there's USA Red and USA Blue. And I was on the red team. And so 8 of the girls on the red team and 8 of the girls on the blue team went and we joined one team. And we played against all of the other girls in the International Cup, it was called USA versus the World. And so we had like 20 girls in the lineup. So everyone really got one at bat. But I would say my most memorable experience was my one at bat. I hit a home run. So I was like super nervous. I was like, yeah, you know what? I got it. I'm just gonna, because my coach, my USA coach, my head coach, she told me something that's really good advice. She said, you have 3 strikes. The first 2 strikes, whether you swing at them or not, is for the name on the back, which is your last name, right? So the first 2 swings, you just hack away. You just take the biggest swing. You just try to swing it as hard as you can. And then your last strike is for the name on your chest. So the last strike, your last swing is for your team and your coaches. So I took that into consideration. And on my second strike, so I guess that's my most memorable experience.
Yeah, we saw the highlight on that one. It was like, wow, what a time to hit one, man. Like,
yeah.
For real.
Also, like having my dad coach me one last time since like literally probably was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So skipping all that, moving on. What made you choose the college you're playing for?
Okay, so I was originally going to Vernon College, a junior college, but in Vernon, it's right by Wichita Falls. And due to circumstances, our coaches got way bigger opportunities that were at Vernon, so they went to go to their bigger opportunities, which is very understandable. And Coach Talley, my head coach at Vernon, went to Midwestern State to be the head coach there. And so she called me one night and she was like, you and a couple other girls to come to Midwestern State as well. So I joined her to Midwestern State, and we all visited today, and it was super awesome, and I'm so excited.
So how many followed you over there?
3.
3?
Yes.
That's a good
And
number.
I'm super happy. Like, instead of having her for only 2 years, I can have her 4 years now.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, super happy about that.
So speaking of the school, what is your major that you're going for, and what do you plan to do with it?
So I'm going to major in psychology, and I want to be a sports psychologist, whether it's independent or like in the college itself. So what I would do is if an athlete is coming off a really big injury or just needing like someone to talk to come out of a slump, then they would come to me, or they would like go to PT and then come to me afterwards and like talk to me about the mental part of like recovering and all that stuff.
That's neat. That's neat. So Mikey's dad, what do you think of her going to school like that, going for that?
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. We were ready for Vernon. Midwestern State came calling. Obviously, it was a no-brainer. She's going to play in the Lone Star Conference. We'll be able to catch some of her games in the area. And going against Lauren Kelly, that's going to be fun. Lauren has been one of Mikey's idols. And unfortunately, Lauren is a base runner. And not only that, leads the Lone Star Conference in steals every year. And Mikey's got her handful.
That's going to be very interesting. So Mikey's dad, what do you do for a living besides coaching?
I manage a law firm in Corpus Christi, Texas. I've been there 22 years. I work for a great guy named Stephen Kerrigan, who's a philanthropist and an attorney, and just a great guy to work for. And I've been very fortunate that I've been able to be there 22 years.
Ooh, that's a long time. That's a long time. So besides your work, how did you become a coach on this USA team?
Well, it was all by luck. Emails back and forth from the coaches and the director of the whole program to get Mikey put into Mikey was selected in 2020, but then it was canceled because of the coronavirus or COVID. And so they allowed all the girls, even the girls that are playing college ball, to come back. They gave them the first dibs to be on the teams that were selected for. And that's kind of how it all started, was emails. And then one of the guy that put it together is from California, and somehow we're friends on Facebook, and he would follow my Facebook postings and everything. And that's how he got a hold of me and asked me, hey, we're looking for assistant coaches for this team. Would you be interested? I said, heck yeah, and that's how it happened.
That's sweet. That's sweet. So for future reference, how does a future player become part of this team?
Well, they have selections. This was the inaugural year. They're going to have selections every year. First of all, if you're on the select teams, you're familiar with Triple Crown Sports. They run some of the biggest tournaments in the nation, and so they're going to be asking for players. And like the coach that I work for, we got videos. Unfortunately, even though I was kind of like the low man on totem pole, I got all the videos of all the players who were trying out for USA. And actually, they asked for my input. I gave my input, and they came up with the team. They selected the team, and they're going to have that every year now. And actually, they asked the girls before we left, if the girls that were on this team, if they want to play, they're automatic, except for Mikey because she's graduating. They're automatically on the team. You have to be in high school. They let the college girls play this year because they lost last year. They're up last year, so they let them girls who are freshmen in college just come in and play. So they'll be able to, and if they'd like, I can even share the info with you when I get it for the tryouts. And if anybody from this area is interested, but it's a great opportunity for these kids. And it was just a lot of fun.
Which is also cool, like, not necessarily like Team USA, but if you're born in Mexico, if your parents are born in Mexico, if like your great grandparents are born in Mexico, then you could play for the Mexican team or the Mexico team, or like the Canada team or Puerto Rico. There's a whole many.
Mikey was contacted by Team Mexico also to play for them.
Nice.
Wow.
Before she was contacted by Team USA.
Wow. That's something we didn't know about. So, Ron, what's your thoughts of Mikey playing at the next level overall?
I'm excited. I think she's ready for it. We've been working for this moment for years, and I can't wait for it to happen. I can't wait for the first game. I'm going to be there.
I'm a former A&M Kingsville used to be in my school too. So it's pretty gonna be pretty interesting. When I heard the Lone Star Conference, I knew exactly what that was. So yeah, it'd be very exciting to watch her.
Well, you should be excited too. You know, your
Yeah.
daughter's in the Red River Conference, and that's a tough conference. Also, you've seen our representative from the Red River Conference went to the NAIA World Series this year, and she's going to be competing against them. So it's going to be an exciting year for all of us parents that got daughters playing college ball.
Thanks. That's all I got, Gabriel.
Hey, Mikey, how can, we want to follow you. How can we follow your games? Is there like a website or do you know, Ron or Mikey?
I don't know, but I know that they're gonna be like live, but I'm not sure where.
Yeah, it's on their website. It on the Midwestern State University website. It's got the portal that if you want to go live, and I think the Lone Star Conference also has a live portal. And so
Okay.
we're definitely going to share when we find out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, Mikey, we have a podcast, 365 Sports Unlimited, and it covers college sports and pro sports, right? College. So, we can have you on at least to inform the people back here in your community here in Rockport of what you're doing down at that next level. It's important. And then, we can catch an interview with you, a short interview during the season. That'd be great. But if we can't, we'll wait till you come back for the summer and we'll bring you back. We're definitely going to be following you. We want to continue to see and be part of your growth as well. Tony, do you have anything for Mikey and Ron?
I do. First thing I wanted to do is just congratulate Mikey on just all of your accomplishments just throughout the years. I know y'all made a run in Little League and then in high school with softball and track. So I want to congratulate you on those accomplishments and then welcome you back to the podcast. First question I have, did you meet any girls in Team USA that you will be playing with or against when you get to the next level?
Well, thank you for the congratulations, but I don't think I met any girls that I would be playing against because the girls that I were playing with from California, like Delaware, so it's not really like in a conference or anything, but I did play with girls that are committed to Duke, Ole Miss, UConn, stuff like that. So I will be watching them on TV, maybe play them in a couple tournaments, but that's about it. I don't think I'll be playing against them or with them.
Okay, all right. And then since Johnny stole all my other questions, what advice do you have for all the girls that are still in high school, all the girls that are in Little League coming up through the ranks that are chasing the same dream that you're about to start living here in the next month?
I would just say stick with it because there's been countless of coaches that have came up to me and I'm not that tall. I'm 5'4", maybe not that big wide, 130 pounds. So they've been you don't really pass the eye test. We're just going to move on to the next one. So that was a real bummer for me. I'm how do I grow? I can't grow. So I did train a lot in the weight room and outside on the track. And that was usually some days I don't really have motivation. It's more about discipline than motivation. Cause some days, honestly, we don't feel like doing it. And that's just everyone. So I just have to remember what I'm going after. And I'm not going after something to just dwindle. I'm going after a championship, going after to win this conference here with Coach T. So I would just say to stick with it. And no matter what anyone says, you just gotta just put it in the back of your head and use it as motivation and discipline and all that stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. That's all I have for you. I know Johnny asked Mikey this question, but I want to ask Ron this question. And what was your most memorable moment of Mikey's softball career? Not just necessarily Team USA, but what was it that you just say, man, that's my little girl right there. Now you probably say that every game, but just the first time where you were just like, wow, like, you know, she batted 1,000 on one game or whatever it was. Like, what was the most memorable moment of her career uh, from when she started to right now?
I wish you'd have asked me that question an hour ago so I could have had time to think about it, but I really don't have a memorable moment. I really can't think of one. Well, okay, if I have to come up with one, is the day that Coach Galvan called me and said, we're not going to have a catcher. Who can we catch? And we're like, well, shoot, I don't know. And he's like, well, let me tell you what I think. Mikey played football. She's wore the pads. Let's put her back there. She knows what it's like to put on that equipment. And that's how she became a catcher.
I was so scared.
I
It been so hard. I was like,
and I just told her, look, I went and pulled her to the side. I said, look, it's catching. You're going to wear a helmet. You're going to wear pads. Just stop the ball. I know you've never caught, but we need a catcher today, and you're the only one that we can count on. And she did. And that's how actually she became a catcher.
Well, that's a great story. I mean, I don't think anybody knew that, but that's just a great story. And I remember Mikey playing football. She was tough. She was playing with those boys, and they were hitting her hard, and she'd get back up and run the ball again. So I remember those days. So, wow, awesome. That's a great story. Thanks for sharing that. That's all I got, Gabriel.
Coach?
Yes, I'm up. So, I mean, obviously, Mikey, I'm super excited for this interview. It's kind of like almost a full circle thing for me personally. Seeing you remembering you as a 6-year-old name. And I'm not gonna lie, your dad called me, says, hey man, she'd love to play for you, coach. So he did a little leg work. It didn't take much. Trust me, I didn't need a whole lot of convincing, but drafting you as a youth football player, the memories we shared on the football field, they'll be super special to me. So this is kind of full circle, and seeing your way, and wishing you best and stuff like that. So this is super nice for me, okay? And it might be the first time somebody freaking cries on this stupid damn. Okay, so anyway, Mikey sees to that. She saw me cry a ton of times as a coach. So like I said, for me, this interview is full circle. It almost, it's not complete, obviously, watching you play college ball and seeing all the success that you gained from it. That would probably be the icing on the cake. But for me right now, this is super nice and such a great honor. Gosh, see, I lost myself. So, I mean, talking about the youth football thing and, your name, I don't know if you know this, but little girls all over the town, everybody knows about the girl who played football. Everybody gets told the stories. Hey, this girl, there was this girl and she played youth football and she killed it. And she played junior high ball and she killed it. And then, then they get to see you like, oh my God, that's her. That's Mikey. That's the girl back there. So your determination and all the things that you bring, that you show all these girls. I just want you to know you have a huge following of little girls, of little Mikeys. And they're all trying to catch up to you. So it's going to be great. It's going to be super things. I'm sorry. All right, now we'll get to the interview. So after finding out, that you had I seen on Facebook, you had switched to MSU, and I did a little, I wanted to know, what was going on. So I did a little check-in, I know Vernon and MSU. I got close family. I'm actually going to be traveling up to Wichita Falls tomorrow I got family lives there, and we're there 2-3 times a year. So I might catch a game or two when I'm there. That's for sure. So anyway, so I looked it up and I was like, okay, well, what's going on? So, and I looked at Vernon first, and I looked at their coach and, and her stats and the record and how great they had been doing, the program had been doing. And then I clicked over to MSU and something caught my eye. The same coach that's on the Vernon website was on the MSU. They hadn't changed it. They haven't taken her off. So I was like, so wow. So, and then reading her stats, her numbers are phenomenal. Her numbers are phenomenal. She took Vernon, that was a 8-win average team, 8 wins a year, a season. Took them to in 5 years, 129-75 record. And I was like, if that's not why she's following this woman, the lady's record speaks for itself. She's a phenomenal coach. She was a phenomenal player, pitcher, collegiate level. She was a great player. And I didn't even need to ask the question. I knew that, this woman had to have saw you play and knew you were going to be an impact player for her, and was begging you to please come with her to MSU. So I kind of put it all together. But I think you make the right choice. This lady's phenomenal. She's going to do big things for that program. MSU's already, they were well-known powerhouse. They played well. They've done well in the past. I just think now with the addition of Coach Talley, it's going to push them over the top, and they'll be a contender here shortly. Absolutely. Oh.
Kind of freezing up there, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get back to us here in just a minute. And Mikey, I would say, I know Steve, it's emotional for him because, of course, he's known you. You played youth.
Have you considered how you may feel going head to head?
Hey,
Against
Coach,
Lauren Kelly?
you froze up a little bit. So can you repeat? If you can hear me, can you repeat the question again? You kind of froze up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
You ready? Am I
Yes.
good? Okay. So I'm sorry. So I see that you guys are going to be facing Lauren Kelly in Kingsville. Have you thought about how that might make you feel? Two Pirates, ex-Pirates going at it on the diamond.
What? That would be what an amazing, picture perfect moment, right? So in our fall ball, my last high school fall ball in Corpus, she actually helped coach and everything. So I could say that she was my coach, and then playing against her would be that's so cool. I would just feel really cool. Even Lauren Kelly's legit. She's really good. So playing against her, I'd feel pretty good about myself too. She's good.
So, in saying that, how much better, 100 times, million times better would you feel throwing her out at second?
Well, I would feel good. She was in track all 4 years, and then she has the stolen base record at TAM UCC at Kingsville, and woo! I'd be like, yes. Y'all see that?
Did y'all see that? Absolutely. We're going to be cheering for you guys, both of you guys. It's got to be one of the proudest moments for Rockport. If you're a Pirate and that day comes, if you're not trying to tune in and watch that game, something's wrong with you. Absolutely. Where am I at? Okay, my next question is about track and field. Is that something that you're going to pursue? You're going to be one sport over at MSU?
As much as I would want to do track and pole vault and stuff, it's just too hard, especially at a collegiate level, to do 2 sports at once, and especially in the same season. since I don't have indoor track over there, I'd have to do it in the spring as well as softball. So I think I'm just going to stick to softball and try to pursue in there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I got, Gabe.
All right. Well, listen, Mikey, I'm going to tell you, I know Coach Steve got a little emotional. I know he's been coaching you since you were little, and I too, watched you play youth football, and I thought it was amazing. And then you went over to junior high, right? And I was like, wow, she's gonna play junior high. Not only did you excel in football in youth, but you also went and played junior high. And then the question was, are we going to see her on Friday nights, right? And then I heard, no, she's going to stick to softball. It just would be too much. And so, the memories, Mikey, that you have given the Pirate fans here, it's amazing. I mean, I still look at all of your accomplishments. I remember the last time you were on the podcast, I asked you, about, when you took second in state in track at Provo, and you said, I only do that during track season, and the rest of the time I don't even practice it. And I always sit there and I'm like, man, how does that even happen? Like some people just do it all year round, and for you to get like that, that's just an athlete. But like you said earlier, Mikey, it's just the determination, because you're right. Sometimes you don't want to get up early, right? You want to have a vacation, and you don't have that. I see you guys. I mean, you're always playing your whole summer. I mean, you're out there vacationing, but you're also having to be, working out and staying in shape to be able to play. Because I would imagine, what was the competition like out there? I mean, with these girls, I mean, you just came out of high school, right? So you're playing, teams around the area, and they're good. But this has to be a whole different level of softball. How tough was the competition?
It was very tough, but it was super fun. Like I was playing against girls that are in SEC, Big Ten, Pac-12, all of that stuff, and it was super fun, especially in the USA games. Playing with those girls is like, they were just towering over me. I was like, so what's it gonna be like at OU in the fall? Like, it's really fun, and it's such a good experience too. Like, I love going against like pitchers and fielders that are like going against these big schools. I'm like, all right, let me see if I can hang real quick. So it's super fun, and I love the opportunity to do so. So I hope like in the fall we'll play some big teams, and it's like we have nothing to lose because we're like the underdogs, right? So it's all on their backs. So we could just go out there and just kind of not really relax, but you know what I mean?
Well, just go out and have some fun, right? I mean, like I said, what you've accomplished at the high school level, it's amazing. I mean, just if you're just a competitor, and to me, no matter where you go, you're going to be a success, because you just have that determination to not fail. And your parents have got to be, they've just got to be so thrilled to be able to have seen you. I mean, the high school level comes to an end, and that's sad for parents, because, it's like it's going to end a career for you that you started when you were little. But then the next level starts, right? So there's still more softball for you. And we have to, here at the Pirates Cove, support you 100%. Hopefully, when we get a chance, we'd like to bring you back so that you can talk to us about that experience up at that next level that you're playing. We're definitely going to, once we can find out and bring your games, and we can bring it live on the 365, we're going to do that and broadcast it. But we wish you all the luck, man. I mean, and I think you're going to be a success. I love, Mikey, I love telling people about what you do, because it's amazing. Not just because you're from Rockport, but it just makes it that much sweeter that you're from our town. But just what you do every day, it's not that, you get the medal and stuff, but the work that's put in, years of work that you've had to put in, that a lot of people, when you're out there, everyone's cheering for you, right? And it's great to see all that. But when you're up there getting up early in the morning and working out, there ain't nobody there but your parents, right? You got to push yourself, and maybe some good friends. That's the part that we want to bring out on the Cove, is to let them look at the work. It's great. We go out there, hey, she wins, and it's great. Then everybody goes home. But you're the one that is putting in the sweat and tears. And it takes all of that to get to this level. So I know you're going to be a success. And the community of Rockport's behind you 100%. And I think what's going to happen now is that Lauren Kelly, we're going to have to bring her on, guys. We're going to have to bring Lauren Kelly on now. And we got to see what she how she feels about going up against Mikey here this year. So hopefully we can get a hold of Lauren and she'll come on and we can talk some softball with her. But Mikey, once again, man, I just want to wish you all the luck. We're going to be right there behind you, and I'll stay in touch with your parents. And if there's any way that we can see those games so that we can, on our podcast, let the community know how you're doing every game. Are you going to be playing catcher, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only position that's there for you, right? So that's great. Ron, you, I would say, you're losing your baby, right? You and Talisha are losing your baby.
Last one.
Yeah, you've had, I heard that you've had, I know you've got other daughters, and I heard that, I think you had another daughter that was just phenomenal too. I've heard, I never saw her play, but I heard she was great. So you've been around sports with your kids forever, it seems like, right? So what's it like for you and Talisha to know that your baby's leaving? What was that like for you guys?
We're probably gonna, I don't know, we're gonna have a lot of time. We've talked about what we're gonna do with all the time we're gonna have to ourselves, but I guess we're just gonna take it day by day. But I really don't know what we're gonna do with the free time. Maybe work with some younger girls in the area, and just some free time in our backyard like we did with Mikey, and hopefully do that. Maybe kind of waste some time and kind of stay active as I get older.
Absolutely. Listen, Ron, you and Talisha have been blessed. Mikey, just sometimes a parent just gets blessed, man, where the kid just goes out there and does the work, and you just get to sit back and be supportive. And for Mikey, you always had support. That's another thing that's real important for a kid to be successful, right? Is they need that support, because times when you don't want to go, those parents or brother or sister, family supporting you, man, just goes a long ways to getting you to the next level. So, man, I know you and Talisha are really, are blessed, and I know Mike is going to be a success. And we'll stay in touch with your parents, Mikey, just so they can keep us informed of what's going on with you. And like I said, when you get back, hopefully we'll see you in the summer. And you can get back in, maybe we'll see you on the softball field helping some of these girls get to that next level as well. But before we say goodbye, guys, I'm going to go back to my crew once again. Tony, anything you'd like to add before we call it a night?
No, I just want to just say good luck on the next level, and thank both of y'all for coming on. It's good for the people that live here to get to hear about you one last time, and hopefully not the last time, but before you go and go off to college and do bigger and better things. And Ron, just to thank you for the support just to the community and the softball community, and I know that you will continue to help other girls along the way. Just thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
Johnny?
Just congratulations, Mike. It's like what Steve was saying, everybody was saying about you being a role model for the town. That's a good example for everybody else from underneath, what to be like, what to do, and how to get there. I too saw you grow up as a little kid, playing softball, all those years, little league, all-stars and stuff like that. And I saw you were going to be somebody, and I knew you were going to be somebody. And, it was always exciting to watch you. Every time it's like, oh, here's Mikey up the bat. Let's check it out. Let's be still. Everybody put their things away. It's like, just sit. I think this year was probably the first time I ever sat in those outfield, trucks out there, just, it's like everybody got ready, like here's Mikey, you just saw everybody just got still. You see kids running around, they run around the whole fence because you couldn't really see the fence. So they're running around the whole fence just to watch, so you're a big role model in this town, so seeing you grow up as a little girl, to what you are now, congratulations, and hopefully you do great where you're going.
Thank you.
Coach Steve?
Mikey, I got another question before I let you go. What's next for you, Mikey? What's the next few days going to look like? When are you headed over? Or is there? I heard you said that you were on a phone call with them. Is there something you're going to be doing in the next coming days?
Well, today I actually visited Midwestern State.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty cool today. And then tomorrow we drive back home. And then next week, on Friday, I move in here.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
So I'll be
So what's
working
what's their practice schedule? When does all that get started for them?
as soon as we can. Our first game is in September.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah,
so
so
yeah,
as
you
soon
guys
as
are gonna
class
hit the
starts.
ground running.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
With those
Okay.
5 a.m. weights.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you got to put in the grind, and hey,
Yep.
I know it. Hey, so I mean, like I said, I like to thank you for coming on this forum and speaking with us. Like I said, it was a privilege for me, and I could only pray that for even more success come your way, and I know it will. You're a hardworking kid, and you're gonna put into work. So I'm excited for you and Ron both. Ron, I'll be hitting you up next year come Little League time, and we'll start it all over again.
Hey, that's an honor coming from you, Coach Steve. You know, you're the guru here, man. You do so much for our youth. It's just going to be hard to compare to you. But it's the philosophy is you gotta chase the competition and not the trophy. And we had Mikey playing 18
Yeah.
youth at 13 years of age we just trying to get her to compete and compete and compete. And
Yeah.
I think you have the right philosophy, man. You're trying to get these girls to compete at a higher level. And that's
Yeah.
what it's going to take. It's not about the trophy, the accolades, the ribbons, the medals. It's about getting them exposure to the bigger, better players so they know what they got to do to work on to get that level. And I think you're doing the right thing, and I appreciate that. And I can't wait to see your team play. I know y'all played last weekend. I looked for y'all on Facebook. I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't post
have them tough
post
weekends,
too
buddy.
much. You don't post and brag too much about the losses, Ron.
So you got to look for the positives in it. You got to look for the positives.
Yeah. Oh no. Hey, I mean, it's all about taking your lumps. You go out there and you gotta earn your way. So,
I feel like that's what makes like girls better. Cause when I first started, I was pretty bad. When I first started softball, I wasn't that good. But and when I did started getting decent, I would always, and my parents too, they'd always tell me there's someone always better than you. So you do and that, I am such a hard-headed person. I'm no, I don't want anyone to be better than me.
Yeah.
So that's just another motivation, little stick right there.
Yeah. Well, that's where the grind comes in. That's instilled in you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your parents did a great job, but that comes from inside. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to be self-motivated a lot of times, and you exude that.
Well, Steve, you're a big part in her development, man. You developed her. You gave her the confidence. I mean, we give you a lot of credit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, please. There is no way. There's no way that I can accept any of that at all. And hey, and then you guys,
you started me in football, so who would have done that? I was this big. If you think I'm little now, I was that big. 7 years old.
Hey, listen. So, and you guys talked about the most memorable moment. I every time I come across this video that I don't know who posted it, I don't know if it was Talisha or me or whatever, but it comes out once a year, every year of your first touchdown run. And I watch it about 20 times every time it comes out. That for me is the most memorable moment.
I remember that.
Yes, sir. Hey, well, thanks again, guys. And I'll be letting you guys go. Okay, bro?
Hey, Mikey, I got one more question for you. What role has your parents played in all of this success? Talk a little bit about your parents. A lot of times parents get lost in all the success, right? But they're the front. They're right there for you with the good and the bad. If you don't mind, talk a little bit about the role that they played since the time you started playing sports, whichever, was it softball, football? I don't know what it was for you, but the first time you were on, I know your parents were there, but until now, what role, how important have they been in your life with all the success that you've enjoyed through your high school career?
I feel like when kids are a little bit younger, maybe middle school, going into freshman year, they don't really take into consideration what their parents are putting into them and all of that stuff until you're a little bit older, I would say. Like all the stuff that my parents have like said and like have put me through and put me in these camps and these clinics and all that stuff, I was like, oh, this is so much work. Like, I'm tired. I just want to be a kid. I want to go to homecoming. I want to go to prom. I want to go to football games. But like looking back at that now, like if you want to be better than your opponent, then you have to do stuff that's going to make you better, whether it's playing an extra game, getting in like another rep in the cage, getting another time in the gym. Like if you want to be good, you can't have low standards for yourself. And that's what they've always told me. Like, if you want to be where like they're like the low scoring kids are, then you could go be over there. But if you want to be great, then you're gonna have to make a whole lot of sacrifices. And I feel like they taught me that really well. And it did take me, took me a while, because when I was like 13 or whatever, like I just wanted to be with my friends. I wasn't thinking much about like my future and all that. So I would say that they did have a big impact on me, because during that time, like mid-teens, it's like the hormones kicked in and I was just attitude-y and all that stuff. But they stuck with me. I don't know how.
So real quick, what she just said, and I don't know, she probably doesn't even know who Jerry Rice is, but what she said is, and when she said it, it reminded me of something. So I looked it up. Jerry Rice said something similar. Jerry Rice said, "Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I could accomplish what others can't." So that's basically what you just said. And I just want you to know that someone super famous said the same thing. You probably didn't even know it. So that's pretty cool that you said that.
I always like in the cage or at the gym or something, I'm always like, I'm gonna do one more rep than what I'm supposed to do, because I want to be that one rep better than anyone else that's here. So
Yeah, there you go.
Well, tomorrow, don't complain when I make you hit that extra bucket.
Hey, and Ron, and it's hard. I'm assuming for you as a dad, because you have to find the balance, right? Like Mikey was talking. Like there's times, she's 18, I think now, but like she said, when she was 12 or 13, you saw something that she didn't see in herself when she was young, right? And you have to find a way to keep her motivated, and that's not always easy for a parent, when the kid doesn't want to get up and do something. But you and your wife saw there's talent in here. We got to find a way every day through the busy day to keep her motivated. And you guys were able to do that. And look what you got now. Look at what she's done in high school and what the future still holds for you in college. Because I think you're going to be a success. And, Mikey, I always tell people this on the podcast. They're like, man, you do this podcast. Listen, one day right now, somebody that's on this podcast is going to be real famous playing in the Olympics. And the podcast is going to be calling her and her family to come back. People are going to say, hey, look, man, she's in the Olympics, right? And so we're going to come back and say, and we're going to play these tapes back. Look when she was here. Because that's what happens all the time. The sky's the limit. You can be anywhere, like you said, as long as you're there. We don't know what you'll become, but if you never try, you'll never get there, right? So, man, best wishes to you, Mikey. The Pirates Cove podcast can be behind you 100% when you guys come back. When you come back, in the summertime, we'll be looking to bring you back on so you can talk about it. We're going to have Sierra and Maddie and Lydia here in about 2 more weeks. So we'll be talking, because we know they'll be leaving too. And if it was my wish, I wish that you girls were coming back just one more year. The next year would be your senior year. But it didn't happen that way. You guys are going to better things. But we're going to support you guys like we do all our athletes, and people can be seeing you on the 365. So before I call it a night, I'll give you and your father the last word. Ron, I'll go to you first. Anything you want to add before we call it a night?
I appreciate you having us on the show tonight, and I hope that Mikey does well at Midwestern State. And again, Johnny, Tony, and you, Gabriel, and of course Steve Cantu, man, I like what y'all are doing with the Pirates Cove. I see a lot of good things coming out of it. I see the community supporting you guys, and I think it's getting bigger and better. And I know a lot of people watch what you guys are doing, and we really appreciate that. All you guys doing this, you guys are day in, day out, and, I know the sacrifices it takes to, and y'all aren't getting paid, to get stuff like this done. And it's basically for our youth, and when people appreciate that, I'll tell you that right now, and I do.
Well, I'll tell you before I go to you, Mikey, we've got a shirt for your sister, Candace. She texted me. So we do it's not the one that you see me and Tony wearing. It's a different one. We've got a shirt that's coming out here probably in about 2 weeks or so. So we've got one for her. We had it made. So as soon as I get it, I'll be calling your dad and I'll take it over. So she'll be getting it here real soon. And then we've got another cap that's coming out because I've got multiple podcasts, but the name of the company, there's going to be a cap that's coming out. I don't want to kind of say because I'm going to kind of surprise people with the name here in about a few weeks, but there's a cap that's going to be made here shortly, and I'll definitely have one for you and your dad and your mom to wear around. So be expecting a cap from the company name here in about a month or so when you come back. But Mikey, before I go to you one more time, Ron and Coach Steve, you guys do a lot. Ron was talking about Coach Steve and the youth, and he does. He doesn't get paid, right? He does it. And Steve's not from Rockport originally. I mean, Ron and I and Johnny, we're from Rockport, but he came in and he's taken that role. And the time that he and the other coaches, his son, they put in there, it really helps our youth, because it starts there. It doesn't start in junior high. The fundamentals that Steve and his son and the other coaches take time to do.
Ron,
it's amazing, and we appreciate it, and we're lucky to have him be part of our team here on the Pirates Cove. And then Ron does so much to open up doors for our athletes. I mean, it's hard. You got to know and work hard. And Ron, you put a lot of work, and you've helped so many people out in this community. I mean, everybody knows you, and just the doors the opportunities that you give our athletes to be able to play anything, football or softball, anything at the next level. It's amazing. So you put you two guys together, man, and good things happen for our youth here, our athletes here at Rockport. So we're just blessed. The community of Rockport's blessed to have both Steve Cantu and Ron Dominguez here doing what you guys do, because a lot of that goes unnoticed too. We don't talk about that a lot. People don't know how this person got into, now that I got the podcast, I'm learning a lot about how this girl's getting, who played the behind the scenes to make it happen, right? A lot of that stuff doesn't get mentioned, and you, Ron, do a lot for this community, for our athletes. And I just wanted to take time to say thank you for everything that you have done and you continue to do for our athletes to get them to that next level. And so, Mikey, I'll give you the last word.
Well, I just want to tell each and every one of y'all, thank you so much. And I love being on the podcast. So anytime, I would love to be on here. And y'all it was just so nice hearing everything I had to say. And just thank y'all. Oh, one more thing. So this is my sign. If y'all want to do it, it looks like that. My Midwestern state sign. We're the Mustangs. Yeah.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny, I don't know if you like doing that, Johnny. Do you like doing that now? I mean, I don't know.
I like Coach Tucker see that.
Johnny may have a problem, Mikey.
I tricked y'all. Hook up. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen, Mikey. Listen, if you ain't got nothing to do one day and you just text us up, hey, I want to get on the podcast, man. We'll just do a podcast. We'll just jump on real quick and just talk about whatever you want to talk about, man. I think you're a great example to our young athletes here, like Steve was talking about, and our softball girls. You heard this year when we had them on what they said about the leadership of our softball team. So there's a lot of people here that you guys have left just a remarkable. I think you guys have left kind of like a path of success. People now, and the girls we're talking about, they now know what they've got to do next year to continue that success here at Rockport, with softball. They've seen it for 4 years of what you guys have done, you seniors that left. So we continue to hope to get for these girls to continue to be successful and get past that third round. So like I said, anytime that you just want to come on the podcast, or you got something to say, hey, just call me up. We'll make time for you and we'll bring you back on. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the internet, right? You don't have to be in Rockport. You can be wherever you're at. Takes 5 minutes to get you on and let's go. So we're definitely looking forward to bringing you back. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Ron, for spending some time. To the crew, to the Pirates crew, thank you very much. You guys are going to have Wednesday, tomorrow off, and enjoy it, because starting next week, man, it's nonstop with volleyball and football. There's no days off. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to be going strong. And so we're going to continue to get better here on the Pirates Cove. Got a lot of interesting things that we're going to be working on here. We're going to be going live here pretty soon, hopefully in about a month or so. So that when we come on Zoom, we're going to be going live, I think, through maybe YouTube and Facebook. They're working on that. So if everything goes good, it should be about a month or so. With the Pirates Code, we'll start going live. We won't be uploading. So you guys can send your comments. And as they're coming on, one of the guys will be looking at that comments. You have questions, one of the guys will pop up and say, you know, what's going on with the questions, and we can answer it live. So until next time, next Tuesday for the crew, we'll see you guys back. Ron, Mikey, have a great night. Mikey, we wish you nothing but the best, man. And we hope to have you back on the podcast real soon. Enjoy, and just know that the Pirates Code backs you up 100%. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Johnny, one more time. There you go, Johnny. There you go.